The morning began with sunshine, birdsong, and the ordinary rush of people heading to work, but within seconds everything changed. Tires screamed across the highway, twisted metal exploded into the air, and a luxury SUV rolled violently into a roadside ditch before settling in a cloud of dust. While dozens of drivers slowed down only long enough to stare, one exhausted single father abandoned everything and ran toward the wreck without thinking about his own safety. He had already lost his job, his savings were almost gone, and the future of his little daughter rested on his shoulders. Yet at that terrifying moment, none of those worries mattered. The only thing he could hear was the faint cry of a frightened stranger trapped inside the crushed vehicle, praying that someone would come before it was too late. Before we continue, if you believe kindness always comes back in unexpected ways and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to Single Dad Empire for more unforgettable emotional stories. Rowan Mercer had never imagined that life could change so quickly. Only a few hours earlier he had walked out of the towering glass headquarters of Alderon Technologies carrying a small cardboard box that contained 15 years of loyal service. There had been no farewell, no appreciation, and no respect. A cold restructuring meeting had erased more than a decade of dedication in less than 10 minutes. His employee badge no longer worked, security escorted him to the exit, and the company he had helped build simply moved on as if he had never existed. Waiting at home was his 8-year-old daughter, Hazel, whose bright smile was the only thing keeping him from falling apart. Since losing his wife to illness 4 years earlier, Rowan had become both father and mother, balancing school lunches, bedtime stories, homework, and endless bills with quiet determination. He promised himself that no matter how difficult life became, Hazel would never feel abandoned. Driving home under the warm afternoon sun, Rowan replayed every painful moment from the meeting. He wondered how he would pay rent next month, how he would keep Hazel in her music classes, and whether he would have to sell the old house filled with memories of happier days. Every traffic light seemed longer than usual, every mile heavier than the last. Then the horrifying crash unfolded directly ahead. Without hesitation, Rowan slammed on the brakes and sprinted toward the smoking SUV. Flames flickered beneath the hood while shattered glass covered the pavement like glittering ice. Ignoring the danger, he forced open the damaged passenger door with every ounce of strength he had left. Inside sat an unconscious woman, her forehead bleeding, her seatbelt jammed tightly across her chest. The smell of gasoline filled the air as Rowan fought desperately against the twisted metal. Other drivers finally gathered, but fear kept most of them at a distance. Rowan refused to step back. With trembling hands, he managed to free the woman moments before the engine erupted into flames behind them. Carrying her away from the burning wreck, he collapsed onto the grass while emergency crews raced toward the scene. The paramedics praised his courage, but Rowan quietly slipped away before anyone asked for his name. He did not want recognition. He simply wanted to get home to Hazel before she worried. That evening, Rowan hid the truth about losing his job behind a gentle smile. Hazel excitedly showed him a drawing she had made of the two of them standing beneath a bright blue sky holding hands. Above their heads she had written, "My dad is my hero." Rowan smiled through tears, realizing that despite everything he had lost, he was still the richest man in one little girl's world. They shared a simple dinner of homemade soup and toasted bread before reading their favorite adventure book together. When Hazel finally fell asleep, Rowan remained awake, staring out the window at the stars while silently wondering how long hope could survive against reality. Across the city, the woman Rowan had rescued slowly opened her eyes inside a private hospital suite. Her name was Celeste Armand, a respected entrepreneur and founder of an international investment group known for rescuing struggling businesses. She remembered only fragments of the accident, a stranger's determined face, strong hands pulling her from danger, and the feeling that someone had risked everything to save a life without expecting anything in return. When investigators informed her that the man had disappeared before giving his name, she asked her team to find him. She believed gratitude meant more than a thank you letter. The search uncovered something unexpected. Traffic cameras identified Rowan Mercer, and background research revealed that only hours before saving Celeste's life, he had been dismissed from Alderaan Technologies during a cost-cutting campaign led by executives more interested in quarterly profits than loyal employees. As Celeste examined the company's financial records, she discovered something even more disturbing. The business was quietly collapsing beneath poor leadership, unethical decisions, and growing employee dissatisfaction. An opportunity appeared before her, but it was about much more than business. For the first time in years, an acquisition felt deeply personal. The following morning the financial world erupted with shocking headlines. Celeste Armand had purchased a controlling stake in Alderaan Technologies overnight, replacing the board of directors and assuming ownership before the previous executives fully understood what had happened. Investors celebrated while employees nervously wondered what changes would follow. Yet Rowan knew nothing about it. He spent the morning delivering resumes, accepting temporary labor work wherever he could find it, determined to provide for Hazel no matter how exhausting the journey became. After finishing a small construction shift under the afternoon sun, Rowan received an unexpected phone call inviting him back to Alderaan Technologies immediately. Assuming there had been paperwork left unfinished, he reluctantly returned to the building where he had experienced one of the most humiliating days of his life. The same lobby that had once felt cold and unwelcoming suddenly buzzed with unusual activity. New security greeted him respectfully, and staff members whispered as he entered the executive floor. Inside the boardroom, Rowan froze. Sitting at the head of the polished table was the woman he had pulled from the burning SUV. A small bandage remained above her eyebrow, but her grateful smile needed no explanation. Around her sat every senior executive who had approved Rowan's dismissal less than 24 hours earlier. Their confident expressions had vanished, replaced by uncomfortable silence. Celeste explained that true leadership could never be measured by titles, luxury offices, or financial reports alone. Character revealed itself during life's worst moments. While those executives had calculated profits, Rowan had chosen compassion despite facing his own heartbreak. She had spent the night learning about his years of service, his dedication to co-workers, and the sacrifices he made as a widowed father. The more she discovered, the clearer one truth became. The company had fired the wrong person. One by one, the executives responsible for unfair decisions were removed from their positions. Celeste announced sweeping reforms focused on integrity, employee welfare, and honest leadership. Then she offered Rowan something he never imagined possible.